Good morning. Namaskar. Let me turn the video on too. Okay, आज यार बिहान sorry. आज चाहिँ के आज आज खोल्नु पर्ला. नमस्कार सबैजनालाई. सन्चै हुनुहुन्छ सबैजना?
सन्चै म सन्चै छु.
हजुर. सबैजना आउनु भयो यसो 1-2 मिनेट रोटौँ न. 2-4 मिनेट अरु एक्स्ट्रा.
सर नमस्कार हजुर सर.
हजुर नमस्कार.
सर आज चाहिँ नि मैले हजुरलाई एउटा रिक्वेस्ट के गर्न आएको थिएँ भने यहाँ स्टाफको सर्टेज भएर म बिहानै आउनु पर्यो. बिहानै 6 बजे काममा आएको म.
हजुर.
क्लास चाहिँ अब क्लास एटेन्ड त मैले अब छोड्नु भएन. क्लास एटेन्ड गर्छु, सुनिरहेको हुन्छु म सबै इच एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ सबै सुनिरहेको हुन्छु, सबै गरिरहेको हुन्छु. तर म चाहिँ अलिकति एक्टिभ चाहिँ सायद हुन्न होला. तर बिच बिचमा चाहिँ म पनि केही एन्सरहरू चाहिँ दिन्छु हजुरले सोध्नु भएको चाहिँ. तर
हजुर.
अस्तिको टाइपको चाहिँ म अलिकति एक्टिभ चाहिँ अलिकति हुन्न सर आज चाहिँ म.
ए
बरु
हुन्छ हुन्छ.
सुनिरहेको हुन्छु सर.
ए हस् हस् हुन्छ.
सर अनि नि अर्को एउटा कुरा सर, त्यो एसाइनमेन्टहरू जुन हामीले हालिरहेको हुन्छौँ नि, मैले अब हजुरले हजुरले हामीलाई एसाइनमेन्ट दिइसक्यो, मैले भोलि द नेक्स्ट डे मैले हालेँ. त्यो एसाइनमेन्टहरू चाहिँ के अरे सिन भयो यो हो भनेर चाहिँ के थाहा हुँदैन सर त्यसो चाहिँ?
ए त्यो मैले पनि हेर्नै पर्छ कसरी भन्छ मलाई थाहा छैन यो. मैले पहिलो युज गरेँ कि म पनि
त्यही त
सिकेर भनौँला नि के भन्दो रहेछ एकचोटि.
कम्प्युटरको फेलमा चाहिँ
हजुर
सिक्न
हजुर
चाहिँ कहिले पनि कम्प्लिट हुँदैन. कम्प्युटर
हजुर हजुर त्यही त. यो टुल हो, यो सफ्टवेयर हो. अब यो सफ्टवेयर चाहिँ यही हो. सफ्टवेयर भनेको यही अब हाम्रो अब एक्जाम्पल यही सफ्टवेयर अब एउटा एक्जाम्पल सफ्टवेयर यही सफ्टवेयरको डिफ्रेन्ट कसरी एड गर्ने, कसरी चेक गर्ने, कसरी एसाइनमेन्ट यही एसाइनमेन्टै यही हुन्छ. मलाई कामै यही हुन्छ कि कामै यही एउटा एक्जाम्पल.
हजुर हुन्छ सर. हजुर त्यही मैले हजुरलाई चाहिँ म अलिकति एक्टिभ चाहिँ हुन, तर म बिचमा चाहिँ म आयो हजुरलाई म रेस्पोन्स गरिरहेको हुन्छु भनेर मैले चाहिँ अलिकति भिडियो अनुहार देखाइदिइहालेको.
ए हस् 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 पङ्कज धन्यवाद.
ओके सर. ओके धन्यवाद.
Okay, I see everyone join. Hi everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So let me share my screen. So everyone able to see my Moodle screen, right? Okay. So we have completed our first section. So if you look at the tentative schedule, right? We have divided into three parts. If you look at this, let me open it again. Okay, here you go. So there is introduction to testing in SDLC. There was our first part. Second one is intro to Java. So we are going to start it today. And third one is Selenium automation and intro to Selenium and Selenium automation. So this whole course is divided into three parts. So we completed the first part. So for the first part, let me before I start, do you have any questions on the first part? Let me know. Okay, everyone is okay with it. So let me ask some pop quiz then. I mean, I will let me ask some questions then. Let's do this as a quiz. So for individual, I'll ask individually. So let me see the attendance. Give me a second. Okay. Let me go by one. 1 second, participants. Okay. All right, let me start with Susmita ji then. Susmita ji, you worked on the testing life cycle, right? Yeah. So what is testing life cycle? What are the steps? Can you please explain some of this?
Okay. Testing life cycle is like after the application is developed, the test is done, to make sure it is it is working as at the requirement. And there are like steps to test. And the first is let me think.
That's fine. Take your time.
And the first one is there's like 5 steps, I think. The first one is requirement analysis,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is and the planning.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is environment setup, testing environment setup,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, let me think. And test execution,
Mm-hmm.
and the test closure. I think I missed one.
That is fine. At least you, I mean,
Yeah.
you understood from analysis to the closure one. That is okay. So do you know what we do in all these steps? Can you explain?
Yeah, like
If you,
the requirement, analysis, like what we are going to test,
Mhm.
and like we do, like maybe we can make like test cases on that one, depending on like test requirements.
Okay.
And the plan, like what we are going to. The first one we just gather, what we gonna test, and the second one we make a plan,
Mm-hmm.
like how we gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, the environment. Oh, I forgot.
Environment setup. Or you can say what are the environments we're supposed
Yeah.
to use.
Mm-hmm.
That is fine too.
The execution is like when we really do the testing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think I have to go back and look again.
No, that is fine. At least you have. It seems you are ready. That's fine. So let's go to the Netraji. So after in testing phase, when you are in testing phase, you also do the defects, right? When do you create defect, and what are the defects life cycle? Netraji, are you there? Netraji, I don't see your video, but I see you online. Netraji there? I think he has some issue then. Pankaj have in the call, right? So
Somebody wrote a message, no sound. That's what I see here.
Oh, 1 second. Mukundaji, no sound? You're able to hear me, right? I don't know why. I'm not sure why. Okay. Maybe you have some issues, Mukundaji. So please log out and log in again. Let's go to Dilip. Yeah, let's go to Dilip ji then. Dilip ji. Hello, Dilip ji. Are you there?
I think the system, Netraji also messaged, I don't think the system works.
Okay. Able to hear, but Dilip ji, are you there? Dilip Subedi ji. Is he there, Dilip? Okay. When Dilip ji is having issues then. Netraji, are you back? I see you are back now. Okay. Dilip ji also having some issues. Can you unmute and okay. Mukunda ji, can you hear me? Okay. Pratik ji, now I think you are the last one. Pratik ji, I see your video, so I think I see you can answer. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'll try for a defect. Defect testing is like I give an example. Just in the calculator, it's come out 2 into 2 is 4, but the result is showing 2 into 2 5. So that defect must be determined by us, and we make that 2 into 2, like sir.
why do you think 2 plus 2 into 2 is equal to 4? Why in testing world, and why do you, where is that 2 into 2 4 equals to 4 is written? Where do you find that?
Means we sorry sir, I cannot explain that one.
No, that's
But
fine.
I do.
That comes through the requirement document. That's what just our acceptance criteria, right?
Yes sir.
Okay, so that's I'm just asking the question because it's better, right? So what is requirement? What is defect life cycle? I also asked the defect life cycle. What is the defect life cycle?
Defect life cycle. So sir, I cannot explain that one also.
Okay, no worries. What is acceptance criteria?
I'll give acceptance criteria means but I know, but I cannot explain very nicely. But acceptance criteria means which can be determined by the us. Sorry, sir. But I know the acceptance criteria means that the criteria which can be accepted by the customer to determine or determining.
Where do you find acceptance criteria? Where do you see the acceptance criteria? That field or that words or where it is used?
You find in a field maybe, sir.
It's in the user story.
Yeah.
User story. I think. Did he send me any request? I don't see his request yet. Let me stop video. I mean, I don't know what is happening. Let me stop sharing first. Okay. Maybe I can see that Dilip. Okay, he doesn't join. So except okay, Netraji, let me add. So user story, right? So
Yes, sir.
you see it is within the user story. What is the user story? Okay. Hey Netraji, I see you. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
So Pratikji, what is user story? Okay, that's fine. Anyone can explain? Maybe Netraji, you are back now. What is the user story?
User story.
Yeah.
As some, how do I say that? This is like explanation of some the requirements of the software development.
Okay, you can say it's form of a requirement, use case or user story. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a document if you want to see definition. I think I provided user story definition too. So yeah, I already provided. So do you know what is the defect life cycle? Netraji, defect life cycle.
Defect life cycle. It's exactly not coming into mind.
Okay, maybe that's fine. Susmita ji, do you know what is the defect life cycle?
People like when the the application is not not working as expected. I mean, I don't know
That is
the
a proper word, as expected. That is many people. That's a nice word. Yeah.
working, and once like we find the defect or bug, and and there is like we make like test cases like the defect report or something. And
Yeah,
once
that's what
like
is it? Yeah, that's correct. But what is the defect life cycle? What does that comprises of?
like the I don't know how to say it.
There is steps, right? Defect life
Oh
cycle
yeah,
has a step.
I know the step there. When we find the defect, there is like open, no new, and then when we find like we put a new, and then assign to the developer team, and then if it's like open,
Mhm.
If like if it's deeper
TB,
or the duplicate
right.
or it's not, no, I forgot the other word. There is one
That's fine.
defect, and then they won't process it. They say like it's not bug or something, and if they like it is a real one,
Mhm.
they they test again.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That's correct. I'm somewhere correct. I mean, not 100%.
I forgot, when I write it, I wrote it, but in my mind, like so
Uh,
many things.
No worries. Which are you able to see my defect lifecycle screen or different?
Oh yeah, oh that's what I meant, like the active.
Yeah. New, assign, active, test, verified, and close. So this you see this now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Defect lifecycle screen you are seeing, right? Which
Yeah.
screen are you seeing? We have two
When
monitors. I just want to make sure
when
you are
we
seeing.
see when we see this, we remember everything, and then just like when I since it's
That's
because
what
we
I'm
practice.
having right now.
We know because we didn't practice well.
Okay.
We probably look at 1 or 2 times, but I knew that I came to know that just looking 1 or 2 times is not enough. You have to, we have to go again and again and watch the videos and everything, so to set up in our mind, because our mind is like somewhere else, and then we're into somewhere. We're starting something else. That's why it's having problem to get all these kind of familiar with all these kind of words.
Right.
We know,
Yeah.
even if I know this, I'm not being able to like explain it, or I know what it is, but I'm not trying, being able to use the proper words and
Okay.
the combination of the words to explain it. That is the problem, sir.
No worries. I mean, that will come slowly. That's
Hopefully, we'll get through it.
yeah.
But when I study, I thought, oh, I know it, but when I try to say it, and that's not enough practice. I know.
That's let me see. Different types of testing. I'm going to ask question regarding the. I'm not going to share with you guys. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to go over different types of testing. What is alpha testing? Anyone? Because there are different types of testing, right? What is alpha testing?
Alpha testing, I think identifying the bug, I think before releasing.
I think that the developer team test like before they release the that's from the developers team, the testing from.
Alpha testing is testing done at the developer side or developer side. Is it alpha testing? But what is beta testing? I don't want to show. What is beta testing?
Like the testing in like in the end users.
End user testing, testing in the customer side or the end user side. Yeah, that's correct. So what is ad hoc testing?
Yeah, without any plan. I don't know.
Right.
Any planning.
Right, correct. I think
Yeah, I went all those through, even I wrote it, but I don't remember. There are so many topics at the same time.
That's the reason I went in the front, because now we have to repeat this again and again, right? So Pratik ji or Netra ji or anyone, Sushmita ji, I think she had studied. So let's go to the next person. Anyone? Dilip ji, okay. What is black box testing, Dilip ji? Dilip Trivedi ji, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What is black box testing?
Black box testing is, I think, this like this is a like main thing, like a brain in the like software testing, and we couldn't see from outside, and it makes like to possible to identify, I think, expected and unexpected users actions and response,
Okay, so Pratikji, can you explain that? What is black box testing in your words?
Yeah, so I will try. Black box, the meaning of black box means black, means which cannot see by the eyes, means which cannot be recognized by us for the coding like this, sir.
Without looking into the code, testing is done as black box testing.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. What is integration testing, Pratikji?
Integrating. Uh, so, sorry, sir, I can explain this one.
Integration between different
What?
modules. So that integration testing. Say example, I'm testing the headphone and the Zoom, right? That's the
Yes.
integration between two different separate modules. Is an integration testing. So let me go to Netraji. What is sanity testing, Netraji? Or smoke testing? Some people it's sanity smoke together. What is sanity smoke testing?
Sanity testing. No idea, sir.
Okay.
Have to look back.
All right. Sanity testing. Basically, you are making sure after each build or after the build or development have pushed their code, they make the changes be reflecting in the environment. So after this new version or new code is pushed into the code, you do very short amount of like 5-10 minutes, like, just scan the software or just to make sure that nothing major breaks. That is known as sanity or smoke testing. So if you look at testing, determine if new software version is performing well enough to accept it for a major testing effort. So before even starting testing, you are just making sure the build or the whatever software they deployed is in the accepted for to do the any testing. That is known as sanity or smoke testing. You can say if you look at smoke also, testing technique examines all the basic component of a software system to ensure that it works properly. So basics one. So if you want to use any software that does the basic items, if you do any basic level testing, that is smoke testing. Next, go to the unit testing. So Smita ji, can you please explain what is unit testing?
Like like the unit, like the small unit works as expected. Like the small
That
component.
is correct, but who does the unit testing?
Like the developers team.
Right, correct. Sure. Software validation method in which programmers, so as a developer or programmer, sometimes developers are also called programmers. We are programmers means they write programs, right? Software programs, so they are programmers too. Test if individual units of source code are fit to use. So what they are doing is they are writing unit testing for a smaller chunk of pieces. That is called unit testing. And let's go. I'm not going to share this with anyone. This time comes. Okay. Maybe Netraji, what is load testing?
It's like when we are developing a software, the system, if there are, how to say that, like the high volume type of thing, how to say that? Like when
Basically,
we test like a whole thing in a at a time, like of like high volume of testing. When we perform the high volume of testing, I don't know, sir. What to say.
I think you are in the right. It's just the wordings are missing. That's fine.
Yeah, like
yeah. testing techniques that demand on the system or load on the system and measures its response. That's the first. That is what is important thing that is missing. What you need to be. The other words you can add: load on the system and measures its response. So how does the system response on the load? That is the major word. So everything else is secondary. I mean, that word can be added.
This is like when the same system has to work with so many different things, like different inputs, then like different types of high volume in like high volume in number. Those kind of inputs, when we have to test, then that is called high volume testing, or like what is
load testing. Yeah. So basically, say example, this our software, right? This Zoom, the maximum amount of person. Have you seen the limit 100 or something, right? That is the max amount of people you can add. So that means the software is tested with the maximum load of 100 people.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you from some example, if you want to increase this capability to 150, so that is now you have, but you cannot just say, hey, go and use 150, right? You have to do load on it, see how the system performs under the load. If you add 150, what happens? So that kind of testing would be done, because sometimes you can do physically, right? Like in this case, I can have 50 users at the same time find 150, but in the testing environment in office, you have only, say example, you have 50 employees and you need 150 people. How are you going to get under another 100 people? You don't have other 100%. So in that case, you need to use load testing techniques and tools and software which will mimic, or which will show you like it's not a load, which will that mimics the users, like saying that, hey, if there's 100 users or something. So that is kind of testing, is load testing. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go over the acceptance of functional testing. That is everyone should be able to do this one, because that is the basic level of testing. So can anyone, maybe Pratikji, what is acceptance? Because now I think we talked about some acceptance, right? What is acceptance and or the functional testing? It's kind of similar. Or maybe anyone else other than Sushmita, Pratikji and Netraji? Mukundaji also, I see. Mukundaji, are you there? Okay. All right, then let me go to Sushmita ji itself. Sushmita ji, what is acceptance testing or functional testing?
This is the testing that's performed to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. No, I don't remember it.
Yeah,
I can guess,
like
the word.
The general type of testing that's is performed to see whether the requirements of the develop requirements are met or not. It's just like a general way of testing. This is testing just to accept whether the requirements are fulfilled or not from that.
Now I remember.
It's just the system satisfies the acceptance criteria or the functional requirement. That's the keyword. Like everything has a keyword, right? This is the keyword. If you satisfy the acceptance criteria, that's the acceptance testing. I think there's functional testing somewhere too. Yeah.
It's like something wrong with my brain. I didn't remember.
No, that's fine. Based on test case of the specification software component under test. So it's basically saying that according to the basic testing, where normal testing, where you satisfy this acceptance criteria or functional requirement is, or specification means also requirement. Okay. Sometimes they call it requirement document. Sometimes they call it specifications. That means synonyms kind of thing. Is it functional or acceptance testing? Oh, I didn't take the. Give me a second. I did. But today is for some reason I forgot to take. 1 second. Wait. New folder. For attendance, I forgot to take the attendance. New me see.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to take some attendance. I forgot about that. Pratikji, Netraji. I think we are all here, so I don't think even I have to write it, but I'll just make sure I wrote it
Is
down.
Prasanna here? She's not here, looks like.
Oh yeah, 1 second. Mukund.
Let me call him, okay? I'll just
Oh,
1
okay,
moment.
3, 4. Okay,
He
let me see.
probably missed it for some reason.
3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, Prasanna is missing today. Okay, I had that. 6 people. So let's go to the test case. Okay. Where is test case example? Okay, let's see how many people have. But no, 0 submission.
Yeah, I have ready, but we still have time. That's why I just
Okay,
wanna.
no worries.
Yeah, but I can share if you want. I have done 2. If you want to look 1, and if we have
Sure.
some time.
Yeah, that's fine. You can share the screen and we can go over it. Okay. Let me
Let's
stop
see.
sharing and you can share, and then we can
Let's
discuss
see,
about it. That way, everyone is also easy for others too. Yeah. Oh, there is a share screen right on the bottom. If you see that,
Yeah,
there's
just open your
green.
link.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Do you want to help? I can. Sure.
Yeah, though I know. I'm just looking my folder.
Oh.
No, I found it. Yeah, I tried like 2 or 3, so I don't know. I get used to with it.
That's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
So before I start, you can start sharing. So who can explain what are the test cases fields? What are the important components or fields that's in the test case? And before leave your screen here. Don't go up. Please don't. I want somebody to answer that. Okay. What are these fields in test case? Netraji, Pratikji, Pangaji is in the, sorry, he's in the work right now, so I don't. Dilipji, Mukundaji.
Can I go? Can I?
Anyone? No, let give them 2
Okay.
minutes because if you scroll, they will be able to see. I want them to. What are the test case fields? Sushmita, go ahead now. At least somebody
So
will
do I
remember.
show the screen or do I
Yeah,
say that?
scroll up, please. Now let everyone at least see that. What is that? Yeah. So I think you can just highlight it. It just looks good. I mean, just make it bold. The test case and test case, that ID and stuff. You can make just
Oh,
bold.
those bold.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that just select and you can make it bold. Just the title that will be easier to read.
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
and one more thing, the font, right? There is another, you can make it, the lines also you can make it bold.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I know.
yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just saying. Yeah. So yeah, can now and everybody see what are the test case fields? Can now anybody say, like other than Sushmita ji? What are the fields or sections which in the test case?
So I'm trying to join from computer. Is it? Do I have to disconnect here first? Because
I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not aware of that.
It's running, but because my computer here where I'm at right now doesn't have the camera, so I will be off the camera after I join from the computer.
No worries, then you can just join from there. But if you at least you can see in the screen also, right? I think you should be able to see in the mobile.
But right now it's trying to connect with the computer, but
you can join the audio through your mobile, and you can a video, I guess, and just you can just join without audio video also in the computer.
Yeah.
So
running.
Thanks. That's fine. Anyone else? Like Pratik ji, what are these fields in the test case? Dilip ji?
Field means I think test case ID, test case, precondition, like that, like step of expected result.
Right. So that's
Post
correct.
condition.
So okay, that's correct. And let's I think Sushmita, since you worked on it, it's better you explain what are the each fields and how you wrote them. So what does each fields mean? And what does this how do you write it? Can you explain that? That is so that it's important for others to also,
Yeah, I just
start
want to
doing.
know is it the I'm doing the right way. So I just want to make sure I don't want to explain the wrong thing before
I'll interrupt in the middle if that is so don't worry
okay.
about it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing like the add card function in the Imagine Imagine.com,
Mhm.
and I did the test case. I did the unique ID to verify the add card button whether the card is working. When I'm adding the items or the quantity how many I want.
What is the test case ID? What is the test case here in this test?
Test case is like what I'm like doing it here, what I'm performing to determine this, working.
Okay. Next.
In the precondition, before I do it, I should be like Imagine web page open and the logged in. I have to be, I have to log in before I, check out or the add card. That's what I guessed.
That is correct. Correct. That's a good one. I mean, this is really. I mean, I didn't imagine you'll think, but that's a good thinking. That's the right way. You should have a valid, and then also you can say logged in as a valid user customer, as a logged in as a user, because you have different kind of users, right? So just say that as a customer or as a end user.
Okay.
So that is right. Correct.
And this is what I'm gonna do, like the test steps.
Okay.
Open the Imagine page, click on the sign in button, then enter valid password user, and then click continue. Search for product and select the quantity. And then click add to cart. That's what I do there. And I was not sure about like what to write and test data. Just
this data would be the two things. So you should have a now you are just validate add to cart button, right? You are just validating add to cart button. Then after you should be able to click the add to cart button. That's correct too.
Okay.
So you mean you should be able to click, and that's only up to that you will go. If you want to validate the whole cart, like if you want to go from buying to this end, like that is again end to end or like whole end to end testing. If you want to do a system testing, that is from logging to the buying the product, right? So that's end to end testing. Right?
Okay.
So, but
yeah,
this
I
is
was
also
not sure about this one.
then you that's as a user, so as a valid user, and then if you want to say make sure as a login as a valid user. It's not necessary that every time you need to have testers. Certain times you may not have those fields too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. Just say valid username, password. What is username, password? You can say that as tested.
And the edit message should be displayed, and then number of items added should be shown in the like the cart icon.
Okay. Post condition and post condition is successfully
successfully added. I can see that successfully added.
The
cart.
item selected is successfully added in the cart. And pass fail status.
Next one, and I don't know how is it like what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know.
I mean, it's correct. I mean, it's right. It's very right direction. I mean, this is the right direction. I mean, let's go to the next one. I mean, so now everyone, you're aware. Now, look at her example. This is a really nice example. I mean, so everyone now knows how to create a test case, understands the test case. A test suite. Basically, this is not a test case. This is a test suite.
And I know I could do like, adding two items, but I just wanted to do something different. I know like how to do that one. Just like, the other one, test, add card like 2 and verify add to cart with out of order products.
Oh, with out of order product. Okay, that's another good example. Good. That's nice.
Image should be the same. This one.
Right. But search for out of order product. Then can you select quantity in out of product? Would you be able to select?
Oh no. But
Then
you have to do it. It doesn't let you do it if you select it.
In that case, you can't even select it. What will happen is the button is add to cart button is grayed out.
Yeah, but sometimes it lets you click it. But I tried. I tried.
Oh, really?
doing it.
That's good. Good example. I thought because usually if it's out of order, the add to cart button, right, is grayed out. That's what I've
Sometimes
seen.
it let you, but once you go like click the number, it says like out of order message, something like that.
Okay. Oh, so this new person should be joining from today. Where is he? I don't see him joining. Let me give me 1 second. Okay, that's then if you are usually that is not again that's a bug. So if it's out of order item, you shouldn't be able to add the add to cart button should be disabled. So button, right? That's a button. So you have to remember the elements. Button, text box. So when you say that, the button should be disabled. That is the acceptance criteria. That's how it should be. And you should and also that means you shouldn't be able to add the items in the cart. You could search it, you could click on it, you can look the description, but you shouldn't be able to add. That is a valid scenario. That is the scenario. That's a good example. You can make some changes. That is if you want this. That is a good
That's why I
example.
just wanted to make sure like whether I'm doing right or wrong.
That's correct. You are in the right path. I mean, at least I can see you are in the right path. You are working.
I tried,
effort. You are putting effort. That's what matters. Effort is what matters most. Thank you. And let's go to third.
Yeah, again, the add to cart unlimited inventory products.
Okay, that's also a good example. Okay, that's also, and you shouldn't be able to add more if there's only 5 items. The button you shouldn't be able to add more than 5 items. If there's only 5 items present, then you could only select 5. If you select 6, it will say show some kind of message saying that only 5.
Yeah, I even tried like this message. This is like seller has only 5 available messages.
Oh, it's good. That's a really nice thinking. That's correct. That's how it should be. I mean, at least you're thinking that way. Yeah, that's how the software behaves. Day-to-day life, right? It's all about how you can relate it.
Yeah, that's a one thing. There are so many, button in the Amazon one, right?
Good example. I don't want anyone using Amazon now. Other than this, Smita, you already use Amazon. Please don't use Amazon example.
Okay.
Because he already used it now. When we demoed it in the class, then this is good. So thank you, Sushmita ji. So anyone else, did they start working on this, or they want to go over their test case, test suite? So this is kind of exam. Okay, I think probably I can also I have to write it some exam also, I believe. So take home exam, but this is an exam. So kind of like, so anyone test case? So nobody worked on the test case creation and stuff? Okay. All right. Thank you, Sushmita ji. It seems you are the only one who worked on it. I wanted to go for another 15 minutes. Let's see what are the topics we discussed. I'm trying to go over all the topics we discussed in the class. So let's go by one. Okay. Oh yeah, important one. I thought I'll ask it, but I can forget. So anyone, in Scrum call, in daily Scrum call, or daily Scrum meeting, what are the 3 important questions that you answer to? What are the questions? Not Sushmita, anyone else, because you already did one. So anyone else?
But I remember that one.
That's fine. Anyone? What are the 3 important questions that you answer in the daily Scrum call? Or daily stand-up. They call it daily stand-up or daily Scrum call. So what is daily Scrum call or daily stand-up call? What is that?
What we like? I think what we did yesterday, and what is the we'll gonna like planning for today? And the third one is what we're gonna do tomorrow. I think if there is something
Yeah, continue, please. I thought are you done?
Yeah, what we did yesterday and what we'll do today and what is the planning for tomorrow.
What did we yesterday? What are we going to do today? And any impediments, not planning for tomorrow. It will be what are we going to do today and any impediments or any issues. Those are the three questions. So what is a Scrum? Because most of things you only go about the Scrum, right? So who is a Scrum Master? Anyone? What's the Scrum Master role? I see Prasanna, you join. Hi, Prasanna. Morning. What is a Scrum Master? Anyone? Prasanna ji, if you are already joined, so let me ask you a question. Who is a Scrum Master? What is his role? His or her role? Oh, you are mute. Okay. Netra ji, let me go to next to you. Netra ji, can you hear me? I think you're having some issue with audio.
Sir, software development, sir.
Go ahead, Scrum Master. You are talking. Okay, Prasanna ji.
So I'll try, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
The Scrum Master in a Scrum Master means who is the guiding the developer as a team. Yes, sir, that one, sir. Just guiding a team, just looking the work done by the developer.
Not guiding, it's facilitating the overall team according to the Scrum principles. That is the overall Scrum Master role. Who facilitates and who guides the team in the Scrum needs. Any Scrum needs. That's a Scrum Master. Okay, and what is a backlog? Anyone? Sprint user story backlog or backlog, and they can use any word. What is a user story backlog?
Prioritize list of tasks, sir.
Not prioritize, but that also can be said, but it's a list of all the work or user stories or defects, collection of tasks, work that is part of the software. That's a whole it's collection of all the items. So that is the backlog. Anything that's supposed to work or that we are going to work in the future is a task or work or user stories collections and defects, task. It could be any combination of different stuff. That's a backlog.
Oh yeah.
And what are two types of agile methodology? What are the two types within the agile methodology? Okay, sisters, you want to say? Go ahead.
Scrum and Kanban.
You can say that. Yep. Kanban and Scrum are two different flavors, or somebody who said types of flavors of agile. It's not even types, it's just flavor. Somebody will use the word. So what is Kanban? Anyone?
Kanban is the continuous process, sir. Continuous improvement, continuous process.
Not continuous improvement process. It's a continuous where you don't follow the it's a flavor of agile, but you don't follow the Scrum methodology where Scrum meetings. You have the Scrum daily stand-up and stuff, but you do not use like a 2 weeks sprint and all the stuff. You will work on the first whatever work higher priority work, you'll complete it. After you complete one, you'll go back and pick another work. So that is the continuous working.
Yeah, continuous.
Yeah. That is a Kanban. Kanban board is where you'll see Kanban has nothing much. It has a board where you discuss about different kinds of Kanban stuff, where items and user stories are provided there. Okay. And let me see what else I can discuss. Introduction to testing. Did I talk anything? Okay, maybe it's not required, but waterfall model. Anybody? What is a waterfall model?
It's like the previous phases, like outcome is put in the next input, like the one phase follows by the other one.
Yes,
That's the
continuous. So
continuous.
waterfall, outer waterfall is from one level to another. So until one phase is completed, you do not start the other phase.
Other one.
So
Linear and the sequential process one overlaps.
yeah, correct. That's correct. So what are the steps or in the waterfall? Anyone?
Steps, sir?
Yeah, waterfall has a different steps, right? A process is
Yes, sir.
recorded.
Requirement भयो, sir. Design अनि अर्को थियो implementation, I think.
Coding.
Testing and deployment, sir.
Yeah, high level, that is correct. I mean, those are the 5 levels of SDLC. Yeah, that is a waterfall. That's correct too. Basically, what we have to know is, you don't know the bookish answer, but you need to at least know what are the high level of those things. If you need to be, first is requirement gathering, analysis, design, development, and then testing, deployment, and then support, or what deployment, and then you can say support. That means you have to support right. Again, it doesn't mean that everything we build is always correct. So improvement and constant improvement, constant versioning. So support, then after that, enhance, if you need, there is enhancement and stuff that comes out differently. So yeah, I think I don't know if anybody work on 3-tier architecture. I asked anyone to work on 3-tier. I think I saw 3 submissions. So what is a 3-tier architecture or component? I see who submitted here. Mukunda ji submitted, Pankaj ji and Pratik ji. So what is a 3-tier architecture? Since Mukunda, Pankaj ji, I think Pratik ji. Pankaj ji in a meeting, so it called work. Anyone? Prasanna, Netra ji, what is a 3-tier architecture? Let me ask who hasn't added first. Anyone from who hasn't submitted the assignment? Suspita ji, Dilip ji, Prasanna ji, Netra ji. What is 3-tier architecture?
Sir, yes, deadline is already over or what? It's coming, right?
What happened?
The deadline of that assignment is still.
Yeah, it's coming, I believe. Well, let me see what is the deadline. Oh, it
Yes,
doesn't have a
yes,
deadline.
that's right.
It doesn't have a deadline, but this is one of the things that self-study. It's a yeah. But still, that doesn't mean you should be. That is all required, right? If you this is, like I said, it's not a class assignment. It's more of a training. So this will not be as a school kind of thing. It is all about
Yes,
your
sir, yes,
personal.
sir.
So anyone, what is a 3-tier architect and what are its components and how do you explain? Anyone want to explain a little bit?
So I'll try, sir.
Okay.
But I have searched in a Google, so
That's fine. I mean, as long as you answer, that doesn't matter. That Google is also good, but at least you have to in your words. I don't want to hear in Google words. So that's all.
No, just when I saw in the Google, that's what they are saying that presentation layer and the business logo or data storing. That's like sir. Means we will do for the presentation, then after do the business logo and then after data store. Sir.
Yes, correct. That's a 3-tier, right? So what
Yes,
basically you are saying is, what is a presentation layer?
What do we see? Okay.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that's okay. That's Susmita ji. Go ahead, please.
The presentation one and what we see, like when we open the Google, what we see, that's the presentation one.
What is the other? Okay, let me, instead of saying that, GUI. What does that mean? GUI. Graphical user interface. So UI, right? I think I will
Yeah,
use
you
this
are.
UI, but if you use G in front of usually they say user interface also sometimes, but they will sometimes some of them will use GUI, means graphical user interface or presentation layer. What could be a business layer then? Anyone? Business layer. What could be the business layer? What is the business layer?
That's like a database.
No, business layer is not data. Database is third layer. Business layer is the second layer. Let me share my screen. Which one? This one, okay. This is 3 layers. If you look at this, maybe here I can click this one. Yeah, if you look at it, it is 3 layers, right? And what is the application layer? What does this mean? This is our graphical user interface or GUI layer or presentation layer. What is this layer? Application server. It says application server. It could be business layer. Basically, don't say application server. Business layer. What is business layer? Okay, anyone? Business layer means all the code. So what happens is all the Java code you write or the APIs or the logic. So example would be you have a UI to 1 second.
Processing and managing business rules, workflows.
Okay, you see this calculator software, right? Now this is a GUI UI. But when you type 2 plus 2, we expect 4, right? We see the 4, we expect it. But how do you know 2 plus 2 will be 4? How does this, my clicks and software knows, this is also software, right? How does this software know that 2 plus 2 should be 4? Why doesn't it say 3 or why doesn't it say 5? Why?
Coding.
Yes.
Because they coded that way.
Right. That is the business layer. So means whatever the application at this layer is where the coding layer. We're basically saying that whatever you have 2 plus 2 should always do the addition, not the multiplication, or don't do the subdivision. That is all written in this application layer. That means all the codes are in the application layer. Okay, and does it make sense? Did anybody understand, or any questions on this one?
Understand, sir.
Okay, yeah. So hopefully everyone understood, right? I mean, when application layer means all the logic, business logic, like calculator is a business application, and its logic is written in the business layer. So this is a business layer. Now, last thing is when you see 4, right? Let me do one thing. 1 second. Okay, let me go to this one. Okay, how am I able to see this? All this you have attached here, right? Something like this. You attach this information doc here. How am I able to see this information here?
Because it is stored in the database, and then we can extract it from there.
Correct. So third layer is storage. So this is not stored in my local system, right? My local system doesn't have this test doc or whatever the Pratik ji uploaded. I don't have it in my local system. My system has only this folder. How am I able to see this folder here? How am I able to, when I click on it, I'm also be able to download it, right? How am I able to do that? The way the only reason I'm able to do it because it's stored into the some database, or database is a storage capacity, like your folders and systems you have, right? In the local systems, like I said, the drivers and stuff you have your local. This is my local system. How it is stored is my local system. Similarly, you need a database to store the information. So this information comes through the database and the database. So how this information is pulled is the business logic or business layer will extract the information from database and display us in the GUI. So that's how 3-tier architecture works. Is it clear? Does anyone have any question how I am able to see this test or docs or any other assignments or any other stuffs here? Or even if I see Mukundaji, how am I able to see Mukundaji stuff? Because all the information I store in the 3-tier architecture. So this is my GUI interface or presentation layer. And how I'm supposed to display is written in this information is extracted from the database and displayed in the GUI or in the UI. This is a 3-tier architecture.
Yeah.
It's clear?
Yes.
Okay.
For now, we have to look more. So first thing is, let me add. First thing is like something is like that is developed and presented after the testing. Then it comes to the presentation level, and then when we apply, when we use in the real life situations, or that's those things that displays the application label, and then whenever we need it, we can get it, and we can store it, and we can get it. That is database level.
It's all mixed. I think you're explaining it in the mixed way. So you mixed everything in there. So all 3 items are mixed
That's
now.
what going on me too. You know, I try to read one thing and it comes like mixed with the other thing. You know, they sound similar words. You know.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean that comes slowly. Now explain how I'm able to see in the 3-tier architecture. Okay, we need a break. So let's take a 10 minutes break and then we'll connect again. Then I think it's already time to take a break.
Okay.
We'll explain a little bit about this. Then I can go about today's lecture. Then after that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Let's take a 10 minutes break.
Thank you.
Okay. And one more thing, सबैजनाले भिडियो अन गर्नु होला है यो क्लासमा एउटा रिक्वायरमेन्ट चाहिँ भिडियो पनि अन गर्नु हो ओके आर वी ओ मैले चार्जर लिनु गएको थिएँ चार्जर लिनु पक्ने म चार्जर लिएर आइहाल्छु एकछिन म चार्जर लिनु गएको थिएँ बिर्सेछु
Hello. Did you hear my sound, Vivekji?
अब त के चार्जर लिन जानु भएको छ
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I couldn't get sound from Vivekji.
हजुर सबैजना आउनुभयो ब्याक ओके सो
Yeah,
हजुर
I couldn't get here. Let me.
Mukundaji. Yes, please. So we're talking about three-tier architecture, and somebody is going to explain about what is a three-tier architecture. And I want, in their own words, to explain me how does this test.doc works in a three-tier architecture. Anyone? Anyone wants to try? How does this test.docs works in a three-tier architecture? Can anyone hear me?
Text
Okay,
dot, sir.
test.docs. So this, you see this test.docs, right? How do you see here in this UI? How does explain me this test.docs in three-tier architecture? That's what I'm trying to say.
Take in here.
Okay, Sushmita ji, you want to try? Can you hear me, Sushmita ji?
yes
Okay, can you please try?
can you tell me question again I didn't-
Say you see this in the, you see test.docs, right? Or week 3 assignments, file submissions. Can you explain me how do you see those informations, or how are those relationship between this fields and these submissions and the three-tier architecture? What are these? What is the web presentation layer? What is application layer? What is database layer? Basically, I'm asking for three things for this view, or this is what you are seeing in the GUI presentation layer. Can you explain me what is
like okay, let me explain. Like when we like open the test doc, like the folder, and what we see.
Let's start presentation layer. Presentation layer. What you see here is a presentation layer, right? Instead of saying test.docs, you could see, instead of icons, you could see something else too, right? The mouse hover is there. This is mouse hover, and this is the text. You know, this is as a link text. So those are all presentation. This is how you want to display it as a presentation layer. Business layer is to grab this information for Pratik Ji from the database to show me what is Pratik Ji uploaded in the system, right? For this his assignment, because I could, if there is that's done by business layer. In business layer, why do I see what is Pratik Ji only uploaded, right? I could see something like week 3 assignment here for the Pratik Ji, because Pankaj Ji's assignment, why don't I see why Pankaj Ji assigned in Pratik Ji file submission? Because there is a business logic which says that give me the list of the items that Pratik ji submitted in the for this assignment. Give me that file, and that is written in a business logic layer. The business layer says, give me the file that is Pratik ji submitted, not what Pankaj ji submitted in here. And it will display, and then where it is stored, it's stored in the database. So business layer will go and pull the data from the database layer. Where do you think this is stored? It's stored in the database layer, right? Somewhere in the storage facility. Not in my local. It is stored in some, this system's model has its own database. It's stored in the model database, right? So you are seeing the model database from the database. So that's a 3-tier architecture. Okay, I'm sharing my screen, right? Okay, that's all for the 3-tier architecture. Now let's go to the today's. I mean, for some reason it took forever to start even the today's lecture. So this is the end of our first. Like I said, it will be the end of our first part. That's a testing. Now we are starting reading the next layer, which is even more complex, and which is, if you try to understand, and you know, we have to put your mindset into different. So the first part you have to remember all the time, and second part is something which is even more confusing, because there is no way I can relate into the real world. So like I said in the before, so this will be even more where you have to spend more time than if you think the first phase you spend more time, this is even more complex, and you have to spend even more time than the first part of this this course. So let's start Java, and this is just the introduction class today. Java is a programming language. So when we say programming, or develop, what is it? Programming language means any language that is used to develop a software or system is a programming language. So Java is one of the most popular. To say popular is most popular. It's owned by Oracle and has more than 3 billion devices to run. So almost 3 billion devices are running in the use Java. So what is it used for Java? Java is used for creating the mobile applications, Android applications and mobile applications, because Apple has its own Apple OS, and you have to code in different ways. So for Android apps, you can use Java. From desktop applications, like this is the desktop. Like if you see any icons here, these are all desktop applications. Basically, if you see any of this desktop, okay, any of the desktop items, like like this Zoom is a desktop application because it's not the
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Somebody saying something? Okay. So desktop application, not the web applications. Another is web application and the websites. So all the web application means that is accessed only through the web page. So what is a web application? Anything that is accessed through the HTTPS or HTTP as a web www. So this is a web application, because I don't have a software installed in my local to view this. So this is a web application. Web server and application server. So server is all backend. So servers means anything that is stored, like your local machines and stuff. Backend systems are like called servers. Games, database connections, and much more. So this is some of the very high level what database could be, what Java could be used. Now, why use Java? Java works on different platforms. So what does it mean? Java is a platform independent. So right now I'm using this, I'm trying to access this information in my system, right? So whether it is window, but like if you use in iPhone also, you'll see that, certain, if you go to the web google.com, and then you in the Google page, not through the app. If you do facebook.com, you are able to see the Facebook. Even if you are in the if you're using the same program in the mobile app, or in Android app or window, you are able to see the same items, right? Same information, different software, different platforms. Means if you have a Linux machine, like if you have OS operating system, right now it's a window based system, right? You can have Linux based system or Raspberry. Anything that you have, Java will work on any platform, because it's platform independent. Means it doesn't need any platform. It can be work on multiple platforms. Why it works, I'm gonna explain that later. It is one of the most popular programming language in the world. It has large demand of jobs. So that is one of the another aspect of Java. It is easy to learn and simple to use. So basically, if you understand this mind concepts, it's easy to learn and use. It's open source. It's secure, fast, and powerful. It has huge community support. Java is I created this as a bold object, in the highlight because this is one of the most key feature of Java. Java is object-oriented language, which gives a clear structure to programs and allows code to be reused, lowering development cost. So this is one of the high feature of Java is object-oriented programming. As Java is close to C++ and C++, it makes it easier for programmers to switch to Java or vice versa. So these are the way you will use Java. Now, if you use Java features, so there are multiple Java features. So you may have to remember like few of them, at least if somebody may ask you these questions. What are Java features? Then you have to say it's object oriented, it is simple, it's secure, platform independent, robust, portable, architecture neutral. So we'll go over a couple of topics from here. Not all of them are, if I explain all of this, I don't think in a proper way, it will take almost like one per lecture. So our whole session would go only in this one. So what at least half an hour to an hour is required for each of these topics. But we'll go over a couple of them today. And if you want, it's free to study or learn about others one. You can always Google and you'll find this information somewhere. So if you look at it, object-oriented, simple, secured, platform-independent, robust. And then if you look at the word itself meaning something, like portable, means Java is portable in a sense. It's in your mobile or it is anywhere. It can be easily transferable.
Easily accessible to everywhere.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. Dynamics, interpreted, high performance, multi-threading, and distributed. So it means it works in the distributed systems.
So what does that robust means?
Robust in a sense is go over the meaning. Like robust means dynamic. So what is mean by robust in a sense would be I think even I have to do the robust. So dynamic in a sense it could be used robust definition. Okay.
Robust.
Strong and healthy and vigorous. So it is saying that strong. What is that trying to say? Strong means it's a tough, means robust. Java. Okay. Meaning. Okay. Let's go here. Robustness in the capability of computer system to handle the errors during execution and manage the incorrect input and data. So what it is saying is Java is robust because it utilizes strong memory management and there is absence of pointers by bypassing security elements. So don't worry about these pointers and stuff. You don't have to worry about this. This is some old programming concept because this is C and other will use this pointers, old language. But just understand that because they have some Java has its own platforms and stuff. It is more robust in a sense. It's able to handle the errors during the execution and manage the incorrect. Sometimes what happens is, say example, if some software crashes, right? Your whole computer may be corrupted and stuff. So what it's saying says there are certain ways Java is work on its own platform. Java has its own platform where it executes the test. So in that way, it's able to handle the errors and minimize the destructions within these systems. So don't go over each and everything. I mean, you will not be able to. I will not be able to explain, or even I am not be able to go over each and everything because I only know very few items which is required and which is most important to in the real world. So I'll always go over that because our role is not as a Java developer. Our role is test engineers, but we have to know some Java concepts. That is where this whole course is about. So yeah, but remember these few things. At least you should be able to remember at least few of them, so that whenever this question is asked, you can answer that. So among them, I'm gonna go object oriented. Okay, so object oriented. What does means object oriented? So Java is object oriented programming. Everything in Java is an object. So you have to remember this now going forward. If anybody will say Java or object, so you have to now start to use those words. What is an object? Means in the Java. What is I will explain more about objects. This maybe next lecture we have that. But I'm gonna just tell you is like whenever people say what is an object, what is Java, which means first thing anybody will ask you that question. That's the first thing you need to say is Java is an object-oriented programming. What are objects? We'll go over that later. I mean, we have this next lecture. So, but please remember that Java is an object-oriented programming language. So this is everything in Java is an object. Object-oriented means we organize our software as a combination of different types of objects that incorporate with both data and behavior. So yeah, this is like I said, not all the things I can explain now going forward in the very easy words. So this is what it is. So if you look at this Java, it is more of a both data and behavior layer. Incorporate that data and behavior. So we'll talk about more about this once later. Probably data also, we have some lectures. So we have some topics to discuss in data and stuff. Just remember that everything is object. Object-oriented means organizing software as a combination of different types of objects that incorporate both data and behavior. Object-oriented programming is a methodology that's Java is an object-oriented. That means object-oriented programming is a methodology that simplifies software development and maintenance by providing some rules. So what it's saying, it has object-oriented programming has some object level of manipulations and items, so which will be explained more. Like in the Java, will use that object-oriented concepts to as a programming concept. So basic concepts of OOPS are objects, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So these are the basic concepts of OOPS. So OOPS programming means object. Anybody may ask, what is OOPS? Short form, they may ask you to. So what is OOPS means object-oriented programming. And what are the concepts of object-oriented programming are? Objects, because of course that's an object, class, inheritance, and there are four important concepts. People will some will add this object and class also as a part of it, but some will just add four important concepts. When they say four, you need to say inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. When somebody will ask what are the concepts of OOPS, they don't specify if there's 4 or 6, then you need to say objects, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So this is some topic. This is a separate topic. I think probably we'll go tomorrow about this topic. So these are the OOPS concept, but you need to remember like what are the OOPS concept? Inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. These are the all you need to remember or be able to go over that. At least explain. So next thing, platform independent. I think I explained a little bit about that, right? Talked about that one. What does mean by platform independent? So in a Java, right? Java is a, when you write .java class, right? When it means you create something in Java, that is a Java file. It's basically .java is a Java file. Okay, that's a is a file basically with the extension .java. So what happens is whenever the Java is compiled or whenever the Java is modified, what happens, that is converted into class file. And that class file, whatever that means, independent means that class file can be uploaded into separate different kind of systems, like the Mac OS, Windows OS, and Linux OS. Each one has a, for each, in order to work for Java, so you need a concept called JVM, Java Virtual Machine. It's a concept. What does that mean is when you install Java in your machine, it comes with a Java Virtual Machine. What does that mean is it's like a container. So you have your OS and your software and everything in the hardware, right? And there is a JVM virtual machine is a container. So it has its own libraries and everything stored within this container. And what happens whenever that Java class or you write any Java code, right? The code is compiled, it runs under that JVM. So what happens is now it will only focus everything under this container as one container. So it will never work on it will not work. It will worry something, but I'm not gonna say it. Mostly it works under this container. Now, in order to run Java class or Java files or Java systems, you have to have a concept called JVM. That JVM can be installed into different platforms or systems, which means I can download or install this JVM in Mac OS. I can do in Windows. I can do in Linux. I can do in different kind of systems, different kind of platforms. And that way, in the JVM, if I install anywhere, if I run that Java file, I can run in my Mac OS also, my laptop, Mac laptop. I can run in my Windows or I can do in the Linux. I can do the same code. I can run in 3 different platforms. That means Java is a platform independent. So it doesn't matter which platform you have, as long as you have JVMs to run the test, it will execute your Java code. So any questions till now? These are important concepts. So please, we talked about it. So anything about object oriented, I mean, these are all, now I said, not be, I will not be able to explain this in the normal way. So you have to Now, these are all different topics. What is object-oriented? You have to start to look into it, understand it, and then, maybe later I'll explain more. So what does platform independent means? Did everyone understand this? Anyone wants to put some input? No? Okay. Let's go to what I have. Java is platform independent because it is different from other languages like C, C++, etc., which are compiled into platform specific machine where Java is written once, run anywhere language. So this is very important. Java is written write once and run everywhere language. The platform in the hardware, a platform is the hardware or software environment in which a program runs. So what does a platform mean is? A hardware software environment. It's environment where you are running this program. So when you write a Java program, you should be able to run in any of these platforms. Means anywhere hardware or software environment, if you run, that's a Java platform. That's what it is trying to say. And when I said, right, JVM. So I talked about, if you see here, you'll see this JVM, right? What is JVM? Because these are concepts of computer, and also little bit we are digging more into computer science now. JVM is Java Virtual Machine. Like I said, virtual machine is what is virtual? I think maybe of you may or may not have heard about virtual machines. It's a machine within a machine. So it's like I have here example. This is, if you see this one, right? This is I can log in right now because this is a remote desktop. So I can access remotely my systems, right? As a remote system. So what does JVM means is it's a virtual machine within the system. So I don't know if you have worked on it. You can install both Linux and Windows within the same system. My laptop, right? Windows machine, I can install Linux also within my laptop. And then also I can create within as a platform level. Another way I can do it, I can also install a virtual machine, and inside the virtual machine, I can install the OS as a Linux OS. So this is what it means. A virtual machine means it's not a real machine, but a real machine is my machine. Right, my laptop is my real machine, but now with the partition and stuff, you can create a virtual machine within my system that is called a virtual machine. So that is not a real machine, but it utilizes my current laptop processing speed, the memory and stuff. But I can create another virtual machine within my system that is called a virtual machine. So in Java, virtual machine means Java also uses similar kind of concepts where it uses the abstract machine. So if you look at the terms, Java virtual machine is an abstract machine. It is a specification that provides a runtime environment. So what happens is in Java code, it's not when you run Java, it is running in the JVM, Java virtual machine. What does that mean is, instead of running the code into the operating system level, it has its own virtual machine, a virtual system where everything is incorporated within that system. So when you install Java in your machine, when JVMs and stuff, which we'll do maybe in a few, probably next lecture, and what will happen is you are basically installing the Java virtual machine. In that virtual machine, when you install setup in your laptop, you're basically saying that all the environment necessary to run the Java code is as a package, a software package software. So everything is under the virtual machine, which has basically this environment and softwares and the codes and whatever environment that is required to run the code is present there. So JVMs are available for many hardware and software platforms. That is, JVM is platform dependent. So what it is saying is, like, Mac OS has different JVM, Windows have different JVM, Linux has different JVM. You have to download. You cannot download Mac OS JVM in Windows JVM and say my code is not working. No, you have to install the Windows JVM and the Mac JVM in the Mac system. So that's what JVM has kind of like sometimes, because it's the way that have to return, right? It's not the same, different JVM, but it's a JVM you have to install separately, but it's kind of like, similar concept. So what it's saying, everything you run in if you install the JVM, you can run that software. That's what it's saying. That's what the JVM means. JDK. So you have Java virtual machine, right? Now there's
a concept of.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, like you said, like those platform. Can I just scroll down, please?
Down?
Can you? No, up. Sorry.
Okay.
This one. So these are the Mac, Windows, and Linux are the different independent, different platforms. So
Right.
what others they have that the Java doesn't work, like C and C++? They work.
Okay.
What are the others like besides these Mac, Windows, and Linux?
But it is saying that when it is not saying that you cannot run the application, but these are the most popular one. It is saying it could be like Raspberry, but there could be any system. I've only looked into these 3 systems, but if you look at what do you call that, platforms? Okay, I think Raspberry and other thing different types of platform computer. Okay, we can do that. Okay, man. Mac.
So we only use like only the Mac or the Windows. I never used the Linux and never used any others. So like what are the others that
I am also use only 3. I
Linux?
think most of the systems are right now built under 3. There could be others. I'm not saying that couldn't be. Like mobiles and everything is little different. So I think it didn't say here, but Android and this mobile also has the different. Android is an OS 2, right? So another example, I want to give you a list, but I thought there could be some diagram, something. But if you see Android, right? Android mobile is also a different kind of operating system, right? It's basically saying different kinds of operating systems.
So whatever
so most of the time they're showing all 3: Linux, Mac.
Android is also one. I mean, but trust me, it's like, okay, here you go. This is more like Android, Apple, Windows, Mac. So there will be more. I mean, I'm just gonna say that there will be Android is also an operating system. Okay, here you go. Linux, Windows, I don't know, Solaris. Oh yeah, Solaris, this old one. Red Hat is also one, Mac OS. So these are different kind of OS. So that is what it is saying is different kind of operating system, right? Windows operating system, Mac operating system. These are all operating systems, right?
Is IBM is operating or just hardware? What is IBM?
Hardware, it could be hardware also is operating system, right? Because you don't have a laptop built under it doesn't mean it will not be a operating system. You understand what I'm concept here? You operating system means that anything that is a chip or operating system that runs the system, right? You have a MacBook that is which is basically on top of Mac operating system. You built a system so that you can view a GUI layer or some visual layer where you get able to type something and stuff, right? That means a additional layer built on top of a Mac OS or Windows system, right? Windows is an operating system where you build different laptops in top of it. You can have anything. Instead of building laptop, you can build what do you call that? Calculator also, right? And with the Microsoft operating system. Why do you need a laptop? Its operating system is a system, operating system. That means it's a core of a system or a laptop or core of a what do you call that? System, operating system or your CPU or whatever you call it. Okay, that's a core of any operating system, right? Core of your software or what you call hardware, software, combine everything. So it will be more complex. So I don't want to go there. But what I'm trying to say is Mac and OS means Mac is OS is system that on top of Mac OS you can build. And right now this iPhone has a different OS. So iPhone has a different OS. Android has a different OS. Means these are all different operating systems. Now, if you want to see understand what is operating system, then okay, now you have to start learning about operating systems.
Yeah.
The software that supports the computer's basic functions such as scheduling tasks, excusing. So again, yeah, if you go, it will be, don't go. I have to explain everything. That is again different thing. So operating system basically, what is simple definition of operating system? Is a program. See, that is what it is trying to say. An operating system is a program.
Can I say something, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say, yeah, because like it's I'm being so curious to say, but due to the customers, I can't unmute this one.
No worries.
Like like we are right now we are dealing about the operating system like Linux, Mac, OS, and then we went to the IBM. IBM. We have an operating system also, and then we have a machine also, the International Business Machine, which and then IBM OS only works in IBM machine. That's
Right.
That's the up part. And right now we are talking about the operating system. The word itself says that operating is to operate, to run a computer system. It's a collection of a program that is designed to run a computer system and which helps to make our daily life easy.
Right, correct. So that is again, yeah, daily life is, yeah, that's correct. I think, yeah, that is a simple way of explaining what basically operating system means. It's a core of it, or like our we call it our brain or what soul is our operating system, right? How we operate is a human being as a soul, we call it, right? That we don't see it doesn't mean there is no operating system. Means we have a soul is our operating system. As long as we have soul, we'll be performing as a human being. We perform as a machine. So similarly, if you look at a human being and a computer, is if you analogy wise, it's the same. So our soul is an operating system. Human being soul and the human being, or you can say consciousness, also you can say, and a dog consciousness is different. Or if you look at a duck consciousness is different. Means a duck will only prefer going to the water and drinking and doing all the time, right? The dog is always like, or you see a dog, it is always like going to play and barking and it's going to play. So it has its own operating system, is its own soul. You cannot say that. I mean, we are together as a human being. We are all living creatures, but we are not same, right? Similarly, operating system also similar. Mac is also an operating system. Windows is also operating system. IBM, like you said, it's also an operating system. Android is also operating system. It's the soul of the or the core of the any device, or I would not even say device. It's a core of any functional devices or functional machine. I would say better is machine, not even device, machine. So you understand, right? Like similarly, there are different kinds of human beings and animals and different types, but we're all living creatures. Similarly, these are also different types of operating systems, and within operating systems, we are the different devices built. Some within my soul as a human operating system, I'm Vivek. Similarly, Mukundaji, Netraji is another one, right? We are built differently. Means similarly, I may be a Windows system built in my Windows 9. Then somebody other maybe Mukundji may Windows 10 or something. Like these are all at the back and the core. We are all built on the same core. That is the core. That is the operating system. How the system operates is defined. If you look at this, that is defined by the operating system. So I mean, again, this will go into a little bit more deep into it. I don't want to go really deep. That is computer 101 class. That will take forever. If I have to go through this one example, this will be computer 101 class. So I don't want to go there, but just imagine that you change the operating system, and each system has its own core. But you can
So
use
out of all these, the Linux is the oldest one, right?
Mac OS is built out of Linux. I mean, even out of these three, you can say Linux is the oldest one, I believe. Yep. I mean, Windows also built kind of, but yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, those things were not important for this class.
More,
I mean,
we're kind of more familiar with the Windows, you know.
Right.
Even Mac, I haven't used it, so I only work or like use the Windows till now.
If you have used
Linux,
some iPhone indirectly, some of the features would be Mac OS also, but indirectly, I think the platform is a little different, but it's the OS, operating system. So how is the core of this any system? So important thing is, what is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. So that is what I said, it's a virtual machine that is installed within the any system if you want to run a Java program. So now if I run, say example in this system, if I create a Java file and I want to execute it, if the Java is not installed in my machine, I won't be able to run that Java. I will not get a proper response. The only way to get a proper response is I have to install the Java JVMs and all those JRE, basically JRE I need minimum, but JVM and JDK and JRE should be installed in our machine. But you can do only with JRE, but just remember for now, we need this stuff installed in your machine if you want to run any Java code. Okay, in your machine. So what is JVM? I'm gonna go side by side with this one and the Java and the JDK. So like I said, this is JVM virtual machine. JDK is abbreviation Java Development Kit. It is bundles of software development tools and supporting libraries combined with the Java runtime environment and Java virtual machine. So inside JDK, JRE and JVM are already present. When you install JDK, you means you have installed the JVM and JRE. JRE means Java Runtime Environment is a software that Java programs requires to run correctly. So it's a minimum requirement because there are certain rules and regulations, right? You cannot just go and write code anywhere and you can assume it to run. But there is some, you have to follow some standard and rules and regulations. So that is what it is done through JRE. So Java is a computer language that powers many current webs and mobile applications. Okay, that is fine. We understand that. So, but now there is this two diagrams which we have to learn, right? So now if you look at this source code, this is another conceptual, this is really important because if you want to understand this stuff, right, you have to understand it in a visual way. And this helped me also into understanding what are this. If you understand this, this is really important. So when you say JDK, right, JDK means Java Development Kit. So if you want to write a program, a Java program, then you need a JDK. If you want to run the Java program, then only you need is JRE. Is that word clear? What I said just now? What is difference between JDK and JRE? Can anybody say just now what I said?
No, can you explain again? So I just distracted over there.
Okay.
JDK
if you want to write a Java program and run it, you need a JDK installed in your machine, in your system. If you want to only run the Java code written by somebody else, you only need JRE. And JDK, and inside, when you install JDK in your machine, this is what the whole thing comes inside. If you install, that means JDK comprise of compilers and JVM and JRE and other libraries. And so this everything comes under. So when you install JRE, JRE will have JVMs and other libraries, only these items. So these are means this is under JRE. What you find is JVMs and other libraries. In JDK, you will find the compiler, debugger, and the whole things comes under the JDK. So once you install JDK, you will have whole systems under this whole thing, that's infrastructure that you need to run the Java code. So what happens if you want to the Java file, right? If you want to, that's what I said already before, is if you want to create a Java file and compile, if you want to run do the whole thing, you need a JDK. So what happens, how this flows? You have a .java file. So any, like, what is a Java file, Java class? I mean, any Java file is with .java extension. So like doc will have doc, right? Similarly, Java will have .java. How it works is, after you have the Java file, you write it, you will compile it. What does it mean by compile? Means I think everyone understands this, right? What does our computer understand? What language our computer understands? As a very basic level, OS level, what does our computer understand?
Machine language.
Right. Machine language. And what is this key of machine language? Everybody's I think may have understood, learned about it in somewhere. What is the key? What are the key of machine language? What is the language that machine language is? Keywords.
To the codes.
Right. It's 0 and 1. Right.
0 and 1s.
Right. So everyone knows that, right? So that is what that means is, in order for computer to understand, computer or operating system doesn't understand our language. So when I say I want to go home, if I say computer, I want to go home, computer will never understand that, right? For computer to understand, you have to explain that in the computer language. So similarly, if you want to talk to or like some other person, like in English, I'm trying to communicate. I can't communicate Nepali with the American, right? They'll not understand language. Similarly, you need computer has their own language. It understands.
That's a universal language, anywhere in the world.
Yeah, there's no universal language. Similarly, in the region that is Java and C+ or others, there's no universal language. So only way they understand it, they have their bytecode, which is basically just for now. Remember, it's a way that computer understands the language, and within the bytecode also is within that also 0 and 1. That is a very low level. But just understand that in order for the computer to learn or understand our code, they have to convert that into, we have to write it into bytecode language. Bytecode is also code you can write. If you know how to write bytecode, you can write it and run it, but that's very difficult and we don't know how to create. I don't know how to do it, but maybe that's old days people used to do it. So what we do is nowadays we write any program in a .java file. When you write the program in .java file, we compile it with the help of compiler. The compiler means converts this Java file into class file. Class file is more of a bytecode. So what does this compiler, which is in JDK, does? It compiles the Java file that we write into class file, and that class file, when you run into the, when you say execute, when you execute a program, what happens? That class file goes through the compiler and then compiler to JVM, which is independent of all the environment. That's another thing that I think we remember. And then JVM will run it with the help of inside the JRE, inside the JVM, and it will give you the result. So whatever results which comes out, you'll see that 2 plus 2 equals to 4 in your Java code. That means that's all the process that is happening within your Java code. And this, all the process happens internally, and you'll see the output 4. Okay, so yeah, let me do one thing. Everyone, my 3C, 3C school, I think.
W3.
W3, yeah, okay, my bad. W3 schools. It's been very long time. Yeah. This is one of the very helpful. I mean, I used it whenever I was, I mean, in the learning phase. So this is one of the, I think, where is the programming? I think there should be somewhere. So you can look into this Java if you want any extra things, right? You can start learning and learn about installing. I'll set up this steps for you, but if you want ahead, you can do it. So this is what it is I'm trying to say is, whenever I mean, why it is giving here already? Okay. So I say, hello, Netraji. So this is a class. So basically this doesn't have, because it is internally, it is handled in the internal way. Whenever I write this Java class, this is a Java code, and this is a main method, and I said hello Netraji in the class. Now when I hit run, similarly I'll use some kind of tool, Eclipse will be using. When I hit run, what is happening is now it's compiling that. See, first thing it does is converts this into the class file, and the class file, what it will do is, this is what it does. It compiles, converts into class file, and runs through JRE machine JVMs within the JRE, and uses the machines. And it, because what does this class means? What does this public means? What does this class mean? It has some meaning, right? Everything I type here should have some meaning. Each of this bracket has some meaning. Each of this should have meaning. How do I know this is the syntax I need to use? There's a syntax, right? Each word has a meaning. How does it does is, and when I change from information, what is this print line mean? Everything is a command and is a meaning. How does this meaning is interpreted into the, one second, let me show one thing. No, I don't want to save. Sorry, for some reason I have a habit of saving it. So, okay. Oh, I don't know why I'm clicking save. Sorry, that's the habit here. When I write program, I always do Control S. So I'm trying to. So whenever I write 3 things, right? See, I see that it is printing stuff into different ways. Now, I'm gonna do is, good morning. Once again. This Vivek and good morning came into the same line, right? But if you see the other words, it came into different line. The only difference is I said print ln and print, means each items I type is a command to a computer system, what it should do. Every system.out is a command. So each is a command. When I say print line, means it will print in everything I print in the next line. When I just say print, it will print everything into the same line, because it doesn't print in the same line. So everything I type is a command to a computer system. How does that does it? So whatever I write in the Java file, imagine this is my Java file. Okay. So Java file compiles into class file, runs into JVM, and JVM and other libraries, and JRE, there is certain rules and regulations that is all in Java has. It's written in within the other libraries within the code. And once it processes, after the information is processed, it gives an output. And the output is, after it processes everything, I saw this output, right? And output is this, what I'm seeing in my screen. Means whether say whatever I'm saying to give me the input and give me output. So computer system, basically, if you understand definition is, give an input, get an output. This is the input I gave, and this is output I'm saying here. Okay. So this is, and also like I said, one second. Another example is, okay, let's run it.
Vivekji, are you running in the Google or is the CTK system on that now?
This is in the Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's showing like this, the black screen on the side.
Yeah. This is all CTK. This is not my system, and I'm not running. Okay. So this is a W3C school. You can run it, but internally they are also processing that information there internally, right? So what I'm giving an example. This is where you can play around for. This is kind of assignment for you guys for this week to go and look into this W3C school, understand, go over there, explore it, and play with this class. So this is an assignment for you. And if you look at this, right, 3 plus 3, it says 6. Why does it say 6? And let me say, okay, 3 plus 2, right? I'll do better 2. And 3 times 2. When I run it, okay, why is it saying 1 second? Slash n, 1 second. Don't worry about what I'm doing here. Just remember that. Oh, I didn't do that. Probably let's do this later. Okay. So example would be, let me remove this one now. Only this thing. Okay. When I do 3 plus 2 and 3 plus 2 and 3 times 2, right? What is happening is internally there's a rule within Java that's already built in. So it is saying when I type plus, add it. When I do times, it's multiply it, right? Where is this command plus and asterisk written? It is, everything is inside the JVM, JRE system, where it has the library that processes the system and it will give you the output. So when I added here 3 plus 2 and 3 times 2, I got different results, right? It's because everything is in the Java system or JRE. So this is one thing which now you need to, this is for conceptual process. This will help you in the later. So whenever you have a Java code, a Java file, you created under in the Java file, you'll have this code like this is a Java. You can save it in as a .java file, this code. Okay. And when you go under it, you compile it. Compiler will compile the code into class file, which is a bytecode, which is a machine understandable language. And each bytecode you can run into different JVMs. If you have in a Windows machine, you can run Windows JVM, Linux JVM, or Mac JVM. And depending upon that, it will process and give you an output as a result, which the result would be something like this. If you, this is an output, 5 and 6 are output, right? Because this is what I input added the system to give me the result. Any questions for this today? So yeah, for assignment for today would be, let me see. Please go over W3 School, go over this website. Let me give you this website. Maybe I'm going to give you this one. Click on this, try it yourself, okay? This link, I'm going to copy and paste it in the chat. Okay, so I added in the chat. Go over this. If you want to learn a little bit more, you can go over Java Home, Java Intro also, it's up to you. And if you want to look quick start, go over this document, at least have some Java syntax. So I will not be able to go over every syntax and stuff. So please go over some of these items also so that, you know, it's helpful.
Yeah, but how we start make the code and here, like
try it yourself. If you click on this, try it yourself. See this? Click and try it yourself, it will open new window. In this new window, you can just start to system.out.print means it will asking you to print the anything you type. So this will be printing, but you can also, instead of this hello world, you can just say subtraction, multiplication. There are rules and regulations that need to follow. So you'll see you get 6.
It's like formula.
Yeah, it's internal. Yeah, the formula, everything is stored internally. So explore through it, go over it, and explore these systems and read some of the items from the Java. So this is important. So assignment to go over this W3 school and read and explore this. Try it yourself. This is the assignment for today, for the week. Let me see.
So we are in now week 4, right? Or 3?
Right,
4?
week 4.
Week 4. Okay.
Let me add a folder because I need to add this as a day 3. I need to do everything as a one. Content. Okay, 1 second. Go over the W3 schools website and try it out.
W3 schools.
So I think this should be W3 school Java started, right? And if you need this one also, I'll just put this one also just in case if you need this information. If you didn't find it, you can just do this also. Okay. Save and return the code. Okay. Week 4 date. This is an item for this week. So you need to go and read over. If you click on it, you'll see there's where to go and start read over the W3C school Java class. I mean Java lecture tutorial. I mean, we'll go over few of them. I will not be able to go over everything with this limited time. So we'll go over a few of the items. And if you need what topics we are going to go over it, and you can see that I have already mentioned that in the tentative schedule here. Oh, to download. Okay, it didn't download. Good. If you look at here, these are the topics we'll go. So Java introduction, concept, next one, Java data type. And then after that, if you go over the basics of Java, we'll start to set up the laptop. So probably next week.
So can we print this one from the
should be able to print.
platform?
I think you should be able to, right? I think if you have, I
Yeah,
don't know how.
yeah, we can print that one. First, we have to download in the system, and then we can print. I have already printed the paper.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Download first. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. You should be able to print this one. So these are the concepts that we'll be talking about. And like I said, it will be more complex. It will become more and more complex going forward. So what we did earlier was only conceptual wise. So please, yeah, this is what it is now going forward. And we have a lot of topics to, so many topics to cover. So yeah, that's all. Anyone? And then you have to read, I mean, spend some, understand and spend some time, like as a conceptual and stuff too. You have to do some effort on your extra time. And if you have any questions, right, I can also, we can create the set of questions and we can go over the class. And if you find where you hear that question and stuff, I mean, like I will do is either I'll Google it or we'll find which topic where you want. But everything is, I don't think I will also not know each and everything. If you see here all the items, definitely if I will not know everything. We'll know only what basic things. We are just touching the surface, but because touching surface will not help. But that's the reason we are digging a little bit more deep into it, because that is what required in automation. So if you understand these concepts well, automation would be much easier for you. So this is an important fact.
So after all this, so we will be working as a tester or developer?
Test engineer, automation engineer, right? Automation. This is yeah. As a tester is a manual. You're saying you are manual testing. I think what I taught in the beginning first, and if you understand properly test case and few tools, you are kind of like, a little bit more you need for functional tester or functional testing or manual testing. You don't, and database is one of the items you need. But if you want to, this is a automation. For automation, you need to know the Java and concepts. You'll be as an automation engineer, even though in future, if you even want to go there, that's fine. But it's always good to be more knowledgeable than less knowledgeable. So this course will explain you at least from the automation engineer, test engineer perspective.
Okay. That means as a QA question?
QA test engineer. So QA testers, and I mean QA is very broad term. So whenever people say QA, right, they use it as like as a very generic word. QA means quality assurance, right? That QA meaning is quality assurance, but that doesn't mean that we should, quality assurance could be like if you want to get a job into Google and if you are QA in Google, Microsoft, Facebook, you are equivalent to a senior developer. So it means even a QA there is no such thing as QA. You have to first thing they will ask you is not even what is class, but they will ask you directly go to the what is the algorithms and stuff. Even if you are QA there. So depends upon the that's what I was trying to explain is depends. QA is a broad terminology. Whenever people say QA, don't think the QA could be like just doing some apple to apple comparison. So QA is very broad. So if you go to Google, Apple, Facebook, and all those big companies, they'll ask you questions start from the algorithm, which is basically a computer measure. Even that will be tough to get there because there will be all computer measures can only get there because they will be asking algorithms and all those complex concepts, which I don't think we'll be able to even graphs are learned in this class. Even I haven't used it, so it will be tough to get there. But as a QA in a certain organization, it is maybe they will hire some functional and stuff. But again, that is different QA. Here is test automation QA. So it's basically they call it automation QA, automation engineer, test automation engineer, test engineers. So basically, this is a test automation class lecture, and this course is basically built for test automation.
Mhm.
And since you need Java to understand automation, because if you don't understand Java, these concepts of like what is main class and all those stuff, even I can go directly to the automation, but that is only for the person who knows Java. I think most of here, my understanding is most of the people here also have to give some of the Java lectures too, right? So if you understand no Java, then I mean I can directly go, you can skip this one. So I mean you can come to the class, but you can skip it. You don't have to do. I mean, but if you want to go to directly to automation, but if I'm not gonna go there and then explain what is main, what is class, what is object. I'm not gonna do that in that class. What is data types? Everything would be only automation. So that is the overall course. Any other questions?
So
Go ahead.
basically later on, so we have to get the virtual, this software, and then we do the practice also, right?
Yeah. This is where it starts from. I want to go over Java. I didn't want to go today. Step to write program. That's the reason I'm asking you to go to W3 school, get some familiarity, look into become some familiar. What is class, main? If you have any question, look into these things. What are this doing? Ask some questions. Do some R&D. Have some familiarity. Go over this some of this class of this. What is saying? What is introduction? So go over some of the items from here too. So that's the reason you have to spend like learning concepts. And yeah, we have this in our tentative is we are going to set up this in this way set up maybe next week I can do. Let's see if I can combine this OOPS and Java data type by tomorrow. If I can do it by next week, I'm going to send up the list of items that you need to do this, set up the laptop. So this lecture will basically I'll provide a set of items you can what you need to do and set up your laptop basically for Java, J, and all those things. So I'm gonna give you the set of instructions to follow.
Okay.
So this is what the setup laptop, right? Download Java, Eclipse, all those things would be done on and this is where you will need a laptop, and all of this should be in the laptop school in this because there's no theory. From here onwards, this lecture is no theory there. I mean, there will be some conceptual, but mainly practical from this one, this lecture from here onward. All of these are all, I can explain only explanation. I'll talk less and all of us will be doing more practical.
Yeah, I think you need to like it says day 1, day 2, day 3, but we only have 2 days per week. So are we covering like 6 days in
We increase the number of weeks. I mean, that is again all these things you have to go to the CTK. I'm the instructor, so I think probably this is what I gave. So how everything works is controlled by CTK. and probably, but my goal is to go over all these topics. This is so for, I think, I was told to create
So
3
where
days.
we're at right now, oops, is the week 3, right?
Yeah,
But
this
we're
is
week
right
4.
now week 3, but we are already in week 4, right? So this is I had to create for 5 days. So this is the format I was asked to create, but I'm gonna go by topic. Sometimes I can mix topics here and there, but basically I'll go by topic from here. All these topics. These are what topics that I will go over in this lecture. Sometimes I may go a little bit overboard and give you some like 3-tier architecture, what it is. Those may not be required, but it's good to know because that is something you need to know is better for you. So those are the things I will add on demand basis, which I feel like it's good to know for you, for all of you here in the class. So we are going to probably tomorrow. I'll see if I can combine these 2 concepts, OOPS and Java data type tomorrow. Then we can, from next week, we can start to do the laptop setup.
Okay.
Please go over this schools, okay? Because readings and Java books. So this is basically I have to 5-day lecture. So this is the format that I was told to create. All right, any other questions?
Not for today.
Okay, thank you. Okay, have a wonderful rest of the day. So tomorrow, if you have time, you can go today also over this, but please go over this W3C schools site if you have time today.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Thank you.